most of these players who've played since they were quite young and have grown up playing do tend to have, more natural swings. Not to say that people who, take up the game later don't, but
Yeah,
you can pick a lot
that
of
was
these
a lovely
players
shot she just played
pretty
there.
much straight away.
Beautiful shot, loading 6 with the red ball, getting to her blue at the 5 at the 5th hoop. Very nice. But she wouldn't have wanted that touch on the hoop. Just gives her a little bit of a tight position to come out, but no huge drama. But it's always nice. Oh, do you see that do a U-turn there? My goodness. We'll see how
This
the
is
lineup is. But
court
Go on.
2, Tim. It's a very wavy court.
Well, she's made the hoop nicely anyway, and got some distance on the blue. So
She's got to rush out.
So she's going up to the yellow with the black. Hasn't exactly got the best rush line, and the blue has rolled past the one back or the 7th hoop.
Yes, she's overloaded, overrushed 4 and overloaded 1 back. Just makes it a little bit harder.
Yeah, looks as though she's having a bit of trouble with the speed of the lawns at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. I actually have to go and play now, so I will leave you, and Trevor's ready to take over.
Well, very good luck, Trish.
Um,
We'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello.
Hello, who've we got?
Trevor's back. That's Tim, is it?
Yeah, hello, Trevor.
Yeah, Trevor, can you see, is Robert looking at a octuple attempt here at the back?
No,
So
TP.
he's gone to hoop 5.
He started.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
right,
but
he was
he's-
already on hoop 5. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yes, it was a broken down sextuple. So they
Okay,
got him with
gotcha.
his 2-back or 3-back ball, gone to the peg with a lead. They gone to 4-back with a lead, sorry.
Yep.
So yeah, delayed
And
TP from
congratulations on your last win there, Trev.
Thank you.
Fairly clean.
Yeah, it's just the one error, not the one major.
Yep.
I got the 3 peels and missed my rush to 4-back.
Yeah, yep. As happens.
That's 3 in a row now that I've got all the peels and haven't finished, so I need to stop that stat.
You must have been practicing that.
Yeah. Well, it was different to the last 2. The last 2 I missed penult, so I made sure of that this time. Didn't get there. Yeah, you have to bring
Claire's
the
playing
Claire's game.
Yeah, she's playing tidily here. In fact, Trevor, if I'm not being too bold, she reminds me of you with her sort of pre-stroke swing. Have you learnt from the same background?
No, definitely not. She grew up in New South Wales. There, so.
Where we don't swing at all. Yes, okay.
Yeah. So it was actually the state coach at the time was actually her uncle, Gary Odell. So
okay,
the
I don't know
squads
Gary,
and everything
but,
else. Yeah,
right.
she came through junior squads and whatever else, and she was just saying the other day, she remembers him telling everyone else in the squad, get your hands together, get your hands together. So her and Chloe Aberley, actually, the bottom hands all over the top hand. There's always nothing on the belt. Because they were scared to get told off.
I know, having lived in Bathurst, I know Chloe reasonably well. Chloe and Claire. Can't remember Claire's surname, but the two of them started together.
Claire Wade, Pete's just written up.
That's it, Claire Wade, not this Claire. That's right. Just coincidentally, I knew her dad, so it was nice to catch up and play some croquet with her.
Righto. So Claire playing well. I missed her previous result. She's had a couple of wins. She's looked in good form. Trevor, can you speak to that at all?
I haven't seen her. I went and had lunch. I went and had brekkie during her first game, and I've been playing on other sides of the venue, so I haven't really seen much of her.
Right, very good. Well, she's got some good clean play here. Set a leave, and looks to have been able to pick up a break from it without trying to push for a triple or anything.
Yeah, it looked like she might have been trying when she was approaching 5, but couldn't get a forward rush, so I held on pretty quick.
Yeah, leaving
sensibly, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, this looks like a dolly rush to the 7th hoop, but maybe not. I'm assuming she hasn't made one back yet.
That's correct. I think she's thinking about peeling. That's what the pause was for. Trying to work out if there's any way of getting it out. I think sensible.
Yeah, well, she's got tight control over the hoop, so definitely a good chance if she does, get a nice rush out of one back to rush it straight over and has yellow over there. So she could be on here, which would be great to see. How have you found the lawns so far at this venue?
Yeah, you've just preempted. I was just about to say I've just come off lawn 4. My first game was where Claire is now on lawn 2. Lawn 4 is much flatter. A lot easier to control.
As traditionally things. So
correct. So lawn 1, just everything you had to allow for pull and not pull, lawn turn, wind, else where court falls much easier.
Yeah, righto.
Looks like Roberts left himself a hampered shot after 6 on the top lawn.
Is that a hampered shot, not the hoop stroke? Righto. That looks a tricky position.
It does.
Okay, so Claire looks like she's loading 3 back, does she? Or is that going over to 4 back?
3 back, I would think.
Yeah, righto.
Ooh. Yet again, I think she's finding the speed of this lawn a bit high for her.
I think.
Where's the blue ball? Oh, okay, there it is. Right.
I think she's got the ratio wrong there because she's a bit short on black.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good response shot. Getting the ball into the line of play and just hitting one in the middle.
boost the
give a bit
confidence.
of a boost for the rest of this break. Yep.
I do a fairly thick takeoff here, popping red down into a decent position to get to the three-back hoop, the 8th hoop, the 9th hoop, I beg your pardon. No, just gone for the tight position on yellow.
I think it comes down to your stop shot ratios.
Yeah.
As to how high you want that ball. So I've got a heavy mallet and a bad stop shot, so it's probably not a bad spot for me to just drive up to 4 back and put a rush on that.
So what do you call a bad stop shot? 1 to 4, 1 to 5?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same with me with that with the Dawson 2000 mallet.
Yeah.
Very annoying at times, though, isn't it, Trevor? Not having a good ratio stop shot.
Extremely. I find it most problematic when you've got these hills in front of hoops, because to get a forward rush, you've got to approach from 3 feet instead of 1 foot, and there's just more chance of a turn over that sort of distance. So.
Yeah.
So have you looked at, ever changing to a more modern mallet, Trevor, or is it just been sticking to?
I did briefly. When I was up in Queensland a few years ago, I had a look at some other stuff, but my game's heavily based around rolls and big shots because I've always had the big mallet. So it was. I decided against it at the end. I was happy to try anything that would help me croquet better.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'll never go there. I just haven't for the time being.
Yeah, righto. Well, Peter and I were talking during your game against Trish about how that, has changed and evolved over the last sort of 15 years of croquet, with carbon fiber mallets becoming a lot more popular and having a lot more weight in the head versus the rest of the mallet, where a mallet such as yours is, more weight in the handle for where the balance point is. So it does make, those shots a bit more different, and you see that in the modern style of play, which is a lot more based around single ball strokes and shots than rolls, when you look at more traditional players such as yourself. It'll be interesting to see where the game is going, the way the balls are currently reacting. Has there been, any talk of how the balls are playing out there on the lawns at the moment? Are they sort of consistent with the Dawsons that we've been seeing over the last few years, or are they, playing a bit more like they used to?
I haven't been playing enough to have a consistency point of view myself. The balls do look pretty warm, so certainly the lawn I just came in. They're getting a bit smoother than they used to be. A little bit short.
Okay.
Trish was hoping for a better position with the black there, just to get him behind the blue, and just stopped a little bit short. Big roll.
Clear's croquet shot loading 4 back. Well, it got a cruel roll. It certainly got a wicked curl to the left.
Yeah.
But the ratio again, she came a little bit short on getting to the red ball, and it forced to have to do that shot down. So there's a couple of croquet shots here with a back ball. Yeah, I haven't left. I'm sorry. I've just been sitting here watching. It was easier not to move. Good
on you.
But yeah, just the conversation about the croquet balls, a little bit different. It's a couple of croquet shots that Claire's usually more on the money, and both of them come out a little bit different.
Yeah, both of them would have had some.
By the way,
both of those shots, Pete, would have been around awkward hills as well. So the takeoff down to blue just now, it does fall off quite sharply there. So she would have been a bit nervous about going off.
Yeah, I know. It was more the shot loading 4 back, trying to get a rush onto the red ball, down to the blue ball.
So the red was sitting on the ridge at that point in time. So trying to keep it.
Sorry, a hill there as well to get past.
Yeah.
Okay, so Claire just missed that that shot on the red with the black, and unfortunately has in fact come off on the bulk line, off the border, and Andrew therefore presumably has a lift with a ball actually on the bulk line. So a bit of a crisis there for Claire, but. Yep, and Andrew's on the lawn. He's picked up one of his balls straight away. Looks as though he's walking down to start a rather straightforward rush to the first hoop. Very unfortunate that missed shot.
Yeah, he might actually go rather than going to the first hoop. Come and try and
he's
get
going
a
up
load
behind the other ball. Yeah.
Yep. Get a bit of a lay break.
Yeah, sensible play.
So Andrew's an old mate of mine. I first met him at the Australian Open in Adelaide in 1987, where we both played, and Caroline Spooner was there, and numerous other good players. But Andrew and I have kept in touch ever since. So there he's trying to load the second hoop up with the black ball as his pioneer, getting up to the blue. Yet again, he's overshot that as well. So maybe this lawn is a bit quick, because Claire was having trouble with getting accurate long shots as well.
Yes, he would have ideally liked to rush on blue down towards the red.
Yeah, I didn't mind the line of play going to blue, but it also looked kind of a natural shot, just going straight to the red. It's a bit of a, depending on your ratios, but it's a nice shot. Good rush.
Yep. Getting a rush on red to the first hoop.
Also, Andrew has been off the court for a little bit of time, so
yeah, look at the wind.
It's handy to play a couple of shots before you take your rush to hoop one. So going to blue in that case worked well.
That looks close to the boundary. Yeah, it's gone off. So he's got a big, at least a 7-8 meter roll into the hoop from there.
This could move around anywhere on this approach. The last little bit's uphill, so he shouldn't go past the hoop. Should go sideways.
Right.
I'm not sure if they tightened it up, but the saving grace is I felt this hoop one was the widest hoop on this court. So as long as you get within shooting distance, good chance.
Well, he's done that pretty good. It looks about 1.5 meters from the hoop. But that wind, a bit tricky. Look at that. Look at his trousers flapping in the wind. Gosh, no. Yes, there you go. That's a shame. Missed the hoop. Not a complete disaster. It depends how good Claire's shot is, but still.
long shots on this lawn can do with lots of things as well with the hills.
Yeah, how have you been finding them, Trevor? As you said, you've only had a few games. Obviously with Mac lead up in mind, are they playing traditionally towards how Canley has, or have they been feeling
Yeah, so
okay?
it's been a couple of years since I've been here as well, but this growing season is just about to start, so it's sort of hard to gauge how things are tracking at the moment. I'm pleasantly surprised with the speed, which is good.
Yep.
So Claire took a shot there, and unfortunately has hit the the sixth hoop with the black, and Andrew's sitting with his yellow right beside red hoop. So a good shot here. We'll see Andrew back in. Oof. Well, he's missed that one too. That's a shame.
It looks like he's gone softish at it to not pop it to the boundary, and
so been a bit of an in and out play at the moment until somebody actually manages to get the balls together. Difficult position for Claire, being 9 and 9.
Yeah, there's still 2 turns you need, so you still need to make 2 reasonable breaks and 2 leave, or 1 leave. So, but
that's right.
It's while it's decisively ahead on the scoreboard, it still is a tricky situation to be in.
Yep, I'd agree. Because to make a hoop means that she gives Andrew a lift again. So. And with the ball down on the balk line, that's to his advantage. But having hit, Claire will undoubtedly clean some of that up. She'll be keen to at least get this ball round to the peg if she can.
The main benefit of having 2 clips on 10 or 4 back is you don't care which ball you play; they both have to do the same work.
True. So, Peter, do I just detect a bit of a Kiwi accent there?
Yes, there is a Kiwi accent there. Might have gone. I'm not sure, but now and then, some people pick up on it.
I can hear it a little bit. Where are you from originally? From New Zealand?
Yes. Yeah. South Island.
Did you first start play in New Zealand?
Yep. I played in New Zealand a fair bit. I played longer in Australia, but I did play for a while in New Zealand.
Right. Okay. Best part of my life was travelling around the South Island.
It's the first time I met Trevor when he came over to New Zealand to play in an event with Ian Bassett.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's where I first met Pete, New Zealand Open.
Yeah.
And my recollection is
where were we? Wanganui? Was it Wanganui?
Yes. Yep. And my recollection is you were playing amazing and TPOing everybody. It's the most TPOs I'd seen in a period. It's great to watch.
Yeah, I can't. It was. I don't know if you remember the ball hunt, the big hill on the edge of the lawns there at Wanganui, Trevor. And we lost a ball, and
correct. And
I think Jeff Young just looked at it and thought, "I'm not going there," and he offered $20 or whatever to any player who found the ball. So there was a mad scramble of players hunting this ball out.
It was found. It was the next day, but it was found. And the main reason they were keen to find it was it was the last lot of barlings. I think it was at the time, or Jake's, whatever they were using. It was the last lot because the factory had burnt it. So they were keen to keep as many sets as they could. So I got banished to the other end of the venue because I think I was threatening the hill quite a lot.
Oh, were you the culprit? Did you put it over the boundary? Did you?
If I wasn't the one that lost the ball, I certainly put a few others into the fence. So,
Over that hill, yeah. No, this was a steep incline. This was a big hill.
And it was stuck. It was stuck halfway up in the weeds or the climbers that they had there. So, fortunately, it was a yellow ball, so it was yellow, so it did stand out, but it was very hard to find.
Classic. Well, just going back to the South Island of New Zealand, I worked in both Twizel and Motueka and loved it. Absolutely fabulous parts of the world.
Righto, so Claire's just had lots of forward. Looks quite good.
Oh, it's a great shot.
That's a lovely, lovely approach. Yeah.
Don't have to worry about any control here. Just run to the boundary.
Yeah, just pop it through. That's right.
Just one more thing on that Wanganui tournament. Did you have a different mallet? Did you have like a little grey, like a little baked bean can on the end of a thing, but it was grey? It was all like a plasticky type.
Yeah, correct. It was solid PVC. And,
what?
Actually, I vaguely remember a mallet that looked like that. Yes.
And it looked like only like 8 or 9 inches long, the head.
Yeah, correct. It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
My current mallet's only about an inch longer, so.
Okay. And is that still about? Do you still own the mallet?
I do still own the mallet, yes. Unfortunately, there was a knot. There was a knot at hoop height, like a wood knot at hoop height on the handle, so it eventually got a crack in it. During a nationals, as it turned out, and we put some super glue in there, and it sort of held it together for a little bit, but it came loose again. So I had to upgrade. But the mallet is still at home.
Good memories. Good memories.
Yeah.
So,
you've done.
Sorry, Claire, we're missing your play.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So Claire's managed to make the 10th hoop, and therefore obviously conceded a lift with black. I'm at a loss as to whether or not she's got a pioneer at the 11th hoop, but
it's a little bit wide.
But here it is. Yes, the red. Okay.
It's a good shot. Oh, did it get there?
Yeah.
It might go to blue.
I think she's eyeing up blue straight away, isn't she? Yeah.
So Trevor, while we've got you on call, I've a number of times noticed the care with which you first of all inspect the playing ball before placing it carefully behind your ball that you're about to take croquet from. Are you shall we say sensitive to the knurling on the balls when you're actually placing them together?
It goes back to my coaching days. Back when we first started, we were playing with the old Dawson Mark IIs or something back then, which had a lot harsher knurling. And my coach advised me that it probably makes no difference whatsoever, but in case it does, make sure it's to your advantage. So I always place the Dawson spot against the croquet ball.
That is a cracking
sorry, I was
shot.
just watching that black
It's
ball
a great
roll
shot,
down the boundary there. It was.
Yeah. You have to have
Oh,
good knowledge
so,
of that east boundary at Kearney. That's a great shot.
Yeah. So that, interesting, because I was watching the match this morning and recollected watching you from Rich River just recently as well, and the care with which you place your playing ball is noticeable. So yes.
So back in the day, we used
Interesting.
to try and hide the fact, but most people know about it nowadays, so I don't bother. I just pick it
Well,
up,
who
go around,
cares
and
as well?
yeah, it's more of a
Yeah.
habit now. I've been doing it for so
Yep,
long.
yep.
Like I said,
And
whether
of
it has
course,
any
you
effect
can't
or
do
not, I
anything.
have no idea.
You can't do anything with rotating the other ball, and in fact, that's actually dealt with in the rules of croquet, association croquet. You're not allowed to reposition that croquet ball.
Yeah, it's a handy habit to do for peeling, though, Trevor. If there is anything going to, you know,
Yeah, correct.
give you
To-
too much
to
pull,
make-
then
at
you want
least
it
make-
consistent.
Yeah,
One ball of the flat spot. Yeah.
good. Yeah. So Claire's got a decent position on the penult hoop now, though it's a little bit angly, but she's worked her lawn very well to get to this position. Lovely.
Shot. So tough return roquet for Claire here, but she's done well to actually get to position on the hoop. You know, played a couple of really good
Oh,
croquet strokes in a row.
She's closer to the yellow, as we can see
yeah,
here.
there
Anyway.
you go.
Yeah,
Yellow's come into screen, and
and that's her
it's
ball
quite
for
close. So
Reither.
good chance of finishing this break off. Nice having red out quite a long way on the boundary. It gives her a chance to scrape together a sort of reverse OSL, which, you know, is never the ideal leave in this situation. But as far
Come
as
on,
match
Trevor,
advantage
explain
goes,
an OSL
you know,
to
then-
us.
Are you suggesting I do these lots of times, or an OSL is traditionally?
Oh, hang on a minute. Let's explain what's just happened. So Claire's not made the rover hoop and possibly left herself in a vulnerable position. Certainly looks as though the yellow might have a shot. So let's wait and see what Andrew gets up to here. Looks as though he's happy with the shot. Yeah, it looks as though it's reasonably open. What a shame. That was looking very nice for Claire there. Okay. Sorry, Trevor, I interrupted you in the middle of your explanation of an OSL.
No, that's fine. That was it was an important turning point in the game. So, so back to the OSL. Traditionally, it's a ball floating, say floating near the peg, floating around the middle of the court. Another one sort of loosely out towards the hoop 2 boundary, the west boundary. In this case, it would have been Edward said a reverse OSL, so it would have been sort of floating around the hoop 4 or the east boundary. And your partner goes off to the opposite corner, so either corner 2 or corner 4. So the one that Claire was going to do, that she would have been off in corner 2. The downside being that you leave a 13-yard lift shot. Looks like a great rush from Andrew.
Yep. That was a nice rush of blue down to the first hoop. And he's got black up at the second hoop as well already.
So yeah, the downside is you leave a 13-yard lift shot. The upside is if they miss, you've got all the balls.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to make sure that there's nothing shorter than 13 yards from anywhere.
And
that's the big important bit, Trevor. Leave nothing shorter than 13 yards, and means that ball near the peg can be a lot more south than near the peg sometimes, as long as it's not closer than the 13-yard shot you're already leaving from A ball sometimes. And it takes that shot away from the player that likes shooting through the middle of the court from B ball.
So Andrew's looking as though he's starting his break now. He's got a ball at his next hoop in order, the black. rushed blue close to the red on the east border, and he should probably be able to get some decent control here. This is looking good for him.
Yeah, it was actually quite a good rush out of hoop 1. You know, where he is, you never really want to be taking off onto that boundary, you know, to try and get behind the ball, but being only 2 or 3 yards away, he was in quite a good position to do so. So, good chance to get a few hoops on the board here, against, you know, Claire, who is quite a tough opponent, and in tough conditions. So it'd be good for Andrew, to, you know, get a break and get a lead, get some time on the court, and then have a crack at winning the game. But currently, if I'm Andrew, I'm just trying to get a few hoops under my belt and get the speed of the lawns back, because it's been quite a while sitting down watching Claire.
So that was a nice rush of the red. Firstly, got a good position behind the red on the other border, on the east border. Rushed it off the west border, so he's given himself enough air to send red to the third hoop while getting position on his pioneer at the second hoop. Like the play.
Now, Edward, question for you. Is there ever a scenario where, once this break gets established, that you would consider pegging black out?
There's a lot of scenarios. It probably depends on how I'm playing, though. You know, you're then giving contact, and oppos on, you know, 4-back. So if they get a good roll to 4-back, out of something, you know, you can only really leave a ball, the closest ball they're going to have to 4-backs, either in corner 2 or corner 4. And if they jag a roll out of one of those, get a ball on the north boundary behind 4-back and get in front of 4-back, then it could be all over. You know, it's only 3 hoops for them to make. And as well, you know, there's going to be 2 balls on the lawn, so they could have a better chance of getting a roll, but it is 2 quite big shots to try and do that. So yeah, you'd consider it. It probably depends who you're playing against. Andrew here, I think, yeah, starting to get around is the priority. Claire,
yes, because the rove appeal can be done
if she gets in with a 4-back ball. Yeah, but you know, for Claire, like, she's got a good chance of finishing if she gets in with some balls in the lawn. She can get a rove appeal, but equally, if there's not balls in the lawn, if Claire does get a bit of a start with a 4-back ball, it's not all wrapped up. So in my mind, as Andrew, I'd still be thinking, look, odds on that she's got to have 2 turns to finish the game. So I'm still in quite a good spot to go to 4-back and set a lead and give myself a chance of tripling, you know, and then set the lawn so that if she hits, she doesn't have an easy turn to try and finish the game. But then you look at time as a factor, and this game's been going a decent amount of time, so
yeah, time would definitely be a factor today, but I was...
Yeah. So to answer your question, yeah, I would consider it, but it is highly dependent on, you know, what Andrew thinks his 3-balling capabilities are on the lawns currently, and you get a feel for that when you're out there, because, you know, sometimes if you just feel, okay, I'm on, I'm rocking, I'm hitting everything, I'm playing really well, you might have a crack at that and go, okay, my opponent, you know, has sort of struggled around, so I don't think they're going to make this 3-ball off the contact, so I can sort of reset and play defensively for a little while, and then try and have a crack at a 3-ball break. What about yourself, Trevor? What would you be looking at here if time wasn't a factor?
If time wasn't a factor, traditionally I'm a straight to 4-back, set a good leave. I always fancied my triple peeling ability, so I like to not give them the 2 balls, as in give them contact.
Yep.
Save myself
Yeah,
having to
okay.
hit back
Yep.
in, and bank my ability on them missing 1 shot and finishing the game regardless. That's traditionally been. So even I've often done that even with a break to the peg. They've already got a grip on the peg. I often don't peg them out. I'll just set a tight leg, make sure I can finish next turn. But I always like. Again, I certainly have pegged people out. There's certainly scenarios where it works, and I love it for doubles. Doubles is a major time to peg people out, for my thinking.
Well,
Yep.
I think that 3-ball and 2-ball games are always fascinating. You know, they just raise the stakes for everybody, including the spectators.
In particular, correct.
So they're always interesting to watch. That's for sure. Well, Andrew thought about leaving one of the balls in the middle of the lawn just then, about 3 shots ago, a bit further ago, and he brought it in fact, but he didn't get an absolute tight load to his next hoop in order. And that looks a little bit long as well. Yellow to, can't see which ball, yellow to blue. Who's got the aerodrome near them? Not me.
Could be me. Oh, they often fly over Canley here, so it could be me.
Okay. So Andrew's doing reasonable here. He's certainly got a good position to get to the 4th hoop using the black. And pop the blue nice and close to the 5th hoop.
So I like how he's promoting his balls, and he's got red and blue somewhere floating around the 5th hoop. So
yeah,
surely be able to use one to get.
I think he didn't get really tight position with the blue, which was why he put the red up there as well. We'll see when we come around. Anyway, this looks pretty good.
Yeah, so for any beginners out there, once you have an established break, it's you should never fear having balls nearby. Keeping them close together and shepherding them around is to your advantage. Yes,
well,
yes,
my old coach Tom Howard
seconds.
said that. Tom Howard used to say putting any ball outside the rectangles set by hoop 1, 2, 3, and 4 is a waste of time. And that's his Pioneer going up to the 6th hoop, getting position on blue to make the 5th hoop.
We've also, in the background just a moment ago, saw Lois Kirk and Robert Fletcher walking back from their game. So it looks like Robert may have wrapped that one up from one of his earlier turns. Were you able to get any vision on that, Trevor?
Yeah, there was some in and out. He missed that hampered shot after 6. Lois was in and making a few hoops at a certain point in time, and I'm not sure where she finished up, but she did have a bit of court time, so I don't think it was a 2-turn finish or anything. He may have still got a triple. I'm not sure where the balls were. There was some interaction.
Yeah, okay. And
so Andrew is looking as Andrew's looking as though he's getting nice tight control now, which is lovely to see. Now I'm not a fan of loading. I'm not a fan of loading 2 back, the 8th hoop, while coming up through the centre here. I think that it's a waste of time removing a ball from your play. Any opinions about that from you guys?
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, especially when in this circumstance, Tim, you really want to dictate which ball may get lifted. So if Andrew's wanting to possibly triple, which he can do, then a leave that gives him a standard triple by thinking Claire will pick up the ball that's on 4-back, she may not, is valuable. So, and the best way to set that is dropping the ball out after 5. So that certain it is a good line play.
Ooh. See, put the blue into actually into the jaws of the hoop there. That might cause a bit of issues further up.
The reason I'm a fan of loading 2-back early is you get to do it from such a short distance that I expect to have a nice tight load. I've already got a good load.
So the shot,
short.
shot coming out of 1-back is made much with greater facility.
Yeah. So about now, Andrew will be starting to think about his leave, which ball he wants for parity purposes. First of all, what leave he's going to set, and then which way round he wants to set it.
I think I'd be worrying about how tight blue is into that loop at this point.
If it's in the jaws, it's a simple tap through and it's in front of 1-back.
Yeah.
The side camera
coming
we had
from
before
behind the hoop, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, correct. The side angle we had before looks like it might actually be through. That angle there looks like it might be all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look through. It's
Anyway,
a tricky shot to get around it and get a rush to put it anywhere convenient though. So clearly taking the takeoff and making his intentions of maybe not going hard for a new standard leave or a 2-4 with a ball on the west boundary sort of hoop 6 high known. So that's quite a good shot. Keeping it in, sort of still in the jaws, being able to have a bit of control around these next couple of strokes.
Yeah.
It's been a really nice tight break here. He hasn't seemed to be affected by too much of the lawn's, changeability with pace or hills. Everything's been, fairly smooth. As you said, Trevor, the way he just promotes his balls nicely is really nice. Good croquet to watch.
Unless you're the opponent.
I play Sudoku while I'm out.
I like to watch. You can always learn something. Even if it's just a hill here or a pace of lawn there. It's always good to keep an eye on things.
I used to get terribly wound up as the out player, and that's why like a few diversionary tactics come in helpful.
Who's your next game against, Trevor? Or are you done for the day?
No, I got one more. I think it's Josh Wilson. I've got to play this afternoon. Lachlan.
Righto.
It looks nice with black, but a bit short with the red there, and the wrong side of the red as well. He'd really like to be coming back into the hoop, but good.
Yes, he's got a very good stop shot ratio with that mallet. In this case, it's brought him stuck a little bit.
Okay. That's a
That's
bit
a
of
shame.
lift
It was a
for
nice
Claire, I
break.
suspect. Yeah. Yeah, it was a nice break. They're hard, those shots, 2-3 meters out from the side, coming across the hoop. You need a
Yeah.
nice touch to be able to get good position. That's for sure.
So an interesting couple of options from Claire here. She can play either ball. Looks like the shortest shot will be at partner from where they currently lie. And the best chance of getting a break probably looks like blue onto black, sending black to penalt and getting onto those two. But either way would be quite straightforward. Obviously, those two balls are closer to Rover, so she could take a Rover ball. Which ball is
What
for
about well,
Rover and
she's got a
fallback,
lift.
if you can
So,
see. Okay, so using a 4-back ball, so she may be looking for a chance to finish with a straight Rover feel here. As I said, potentially putting black all the way up to penalt and going to red and yellow, which gives her a good chance of getting a rush, as those two balls are only a yard or two away from each other. So an interesting couple of shots to follow. This shot, if it's quite good, can set up the whole break from here on out and give a great chance of finishing. However, she ideally would be liking to make penalt with one of the other balls so that she could play around a bit more with partner. So if you were that is a really good shot.
That's a great shot.
Nice.
Yeah,
Goodness.
that is about, if you wanted to place them with your hands, I think that's about where you put them. Should be very, very
In fact, I think
that
that's exactly what she did. She went out there and picked up the black and put it up there. That was lovely. Really, really delightful to watch.
Yeah. Well, black sort of got a bigger range, but blue's really good. She may not have had the room to get it to the boundary, but at least she's under control. So by getting it to the boundary, she may have attempted to try and put that up to penalt as well, and then get the opportunity to put black down towards Rover beforehand. But as far as it stands, she's all over that red ball and can set herself
yellow
a rush
to Rover
a lot
and
easier.
red and rush. Yeah, that's right. Well, there's the yellow to Rover, and now the rush up to fall back with red. Ooh. Not
Taken
exactly
a lot of hill
where
that
she
shot.
was.
You can see that's probably swung at least 4 yards from where it would have ended up. I'm not saying the shot was going directly for that, but it was quite a lot closer. So she'll be, tested here for this role. Not the